Test, test, test. I think this is going. Let me confirm the volume over here. Hey, what's up? This is Dave. This is What's Up Dave, my daily stream where I catch up with my friends on the internet, let them know what I'm up to. Today, it's Tuesday, November 28th, and I want to just jump right into planning today because there's lots of stuff to do. And let me confirm, do I have audio? I hear something, but why is it so quiet? That's odd. Let me just double check something over here. Okay, it looks like it's just like really low. So anyway, the audio is working. Today I'm talking about planning. I've got my ETP notebook here that I'm going to plan inside, and there's a couple other things I want to talk about really briefly, which is a discussion of unhelpful time awareness, a disease with which I'm afflicted with. And on a related note, maintaining a productive, positive attitude. Now, I've noticed that lately I've been very sensitive to people who don't have positive, productive attitudes. And it's been kind of irking me, so I just kind of want to talk through things right now. But let me set a timer for 15 minutes so this doesn't go too long. And let's go and switch to the split view here. And take a look inside the notebook. So yesterday, it's kind of dark in here. Let me turn on some lights. This is a nice day, though. There is that. Turn on this thing. Get a little more light in here. I wish this camera did better light balancing. Anyway, so here we are looking at my notebook. This is from yesterday, Monday the 27th. I was just restarting my routine, and so I basically just filled a bunch of stuff out. And so these are just things that are in my stream. This time, this was just like socialization time. Socialization. And that was kind of the day. So I did that, I did that, I did that, I went there, did not do that, make new to-dos, I didn't do that, didn't review the blogs, I did do that actually. I did sort of pick a task to do, but I didn't do it. All these other things need to go on an updated version of those lists. So I'm going to make a new version of this. Oh, my alarm just went off. Oops. So I'm looking for a yellow post-it pad someplace. There's one. So I got to come with some of these. I'm going to take this blue one here too as well. So first step, let's do some transcribing here. First, let's get rid of all of these. Let's put these over here on the side. Let me get a full view here. That would be this camera view. This is just a piece of acetate that I cut to fit inside the notebook. I think I can apparently print on acetate, so I might make some custom notebooks as part of a package. So, what am I doing? I'm looking at these things. I'm just going to go through this. Write up major projects diagram. Mega download Patreon videos. These are tasks that I would call social media maintenance. But what I mean by that is these are things that I do to kind of maintain the community of what it is that whatever it is that I do. Let's call that spreading the way of Dave. I'll just label this one Way of Dave. And so that's the major projects diagram. These are going to be anything that can turn it into a social media post, basically. Major projects diagram. What else do we have on this? This is the mega download. This is Patreon related stuff. Patreon, oops, mega download. I am so behind on that. And partly this is related to my whole relationship with time. Patreon video. I've been talking about doing that for I think over a year now. I was so stuck on some of these things. So now I can get rid of this. So anything I wanted to look at this to... Nope. None of that needs to be remembered. Fresh Zendesk versus Freshdesk. Let's call that set up Zendesk. Or Fresh, which is the one I use Freshdesk. Freshdesk is a help desk software, and I was thinking I could use that to augment my online presence. Be mindful, burnout, books, ACA, Apple Store, Dad, and all. That's all done. Now we want to. I'm gonna put this at the bottom here. There's something pleasing about having a piece of acetate. And then let's use these yellow ones here. Put this on top of this for now. And let's see, what are these? Oh, some of this is Nerd Mag. One nice thing about the acetate is it's a nice writing surface. E-commerce. It's almost like I need another list. These are all significant projects, actually. I'll just put them all in this, and I can restart these later. There's Amazon listing improvements. I'm seeing that my sales continue to drop, and it's because there's so much more competition in the space for making stationery. And I haven't done anything new in the past 2 or 3 years, or even jazzed up those listings. And so I think I'm losing out to competition of other products that look more exciting or fresher. So I need to do something about that. I need to be fresh. 1701 engine project. That needs to keep going. And there's the whole blog conversion. I don't even know if you need to write that down. I'll just call it Thoughtomata, which is the new blog system. Alright, so that's the majority of this stuff. Now the rest of this, let's put this at the top here. Actually, the next bits of stuff are more like things I just need to take care of. These are like the chore lists. Now one thing is, let's see, deposit, credit card, oops, pay the printer, video, a how-to video for Dad, the big one is settle my healthcare, estimate the costs. I should pay some estimated taxes. I should also pay property taxes. I need to renew my car registration. I also need to, those are related to this. So I need to renew another license. Might need another one of these. I'll just put this here for now, just so it's ready. I think that's plenty of tasks right now to keep in mind. Oh, that's weird. What's all this? There we go. So I can get rid of these. I don't think there's anything else I need to copy from these. Oh, there's a personal style challenge, but that's ongoing. I don't think I need to write that down. Is there anything I'm missing from here? Oh, deposit check. I also need to call, renew some checks that I had gotten as a rebate. There's also a medical bill, I think. What was that? Where did I see that? It was the... that was when I got the this cosmetic procedure done. Pay, what's the name of that place? It's just called dermatologist. I also need to get new glasses. Which are going to be expensive. So these are things I don't want to forget. Is there anything else I'm forgetting? I'm not going to worry about it. I've captured a good portion of it. So now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to fill out today's. Today is what, Tuesday? Let's try to write this nice and neat. Tuesday, November. Not succeeding here. There's also like various habit restarting things. So I'm going to write this at the top. Habit. Water. I'm trying to get back into the habit of drinking enough water. While my dad was here, I was drinking very little water for some reason. It's like my attention was taken up by someone else's being in my space. And I guess I don't multitask very well in that sense. Another habit is diet. I was largely on a diet except during the weekends or when my sister was visiting, because then we were off the diet for days at a time. So I've probably put on weight. I probably need to weigh myself. Ugh. One last diet. That's the sleep hygiene. That's a lot of habits. I'm just going to write that at the top here every day so I can remember that's what I'm going to do. I probably should transcribe it to this sheet here. I could put it on the back. That's an idea. I didn't think about putting things on the back of this. Anyway. It's around 12 o'clock. Let's say we started at 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's just fill this out to 6 p.m. Sometime between now and then, like a new TV is arriving. I finally ordered a TV. This is my 50th birthday present to myself. Although it seems like this year I've just been buying all sorts of stuff for myself that I probably shouldn't be buying. But retail therapy. So I'm expecting to be interrupted at some point. But let's write down the key things I want to do today. I'm just going to write down 3 things. So there's the ACA stuff. There's probably I should move money around. Let's SWCC, and then a little bit of Thautomata stuff, and that's all I'm going to put down. These are the things that these are my things I need to do, and a few things that I should do or feel I should do, and then if I don't do them, I'll end up like doing them like I'll do other stuff avoiding these things. So maybe I'll harness the power of structured procrastination today. Okay, so that's my plan. After this stream, I'll start looking into the healthcare stuff. And this is a good point to talk about what I meant about unhelpful time awareness. So I've come to the conclusion, I've talked about this before, that for whatever reason, I'm hyper aware of time. And I assumed everyone else was. And now that I think about it, I don't think they are. I am hyper aware about time, about if I'm supposed to be at a place at a certain time, I can't stop thinking about it. I need to be at this place at this time. If it's a week from now, if it's 3 days from now, if it's a year from now, it's going to bother me. It's going to be, it's this actual burden in the back of my head that creates an anxiety. And I just heard my dishwasher stop its cycle prematurely again, so I need to have that looked at. Let me write that down. Dishwasher service. I cannot for the life of me figure out why it's not completing. Where was I? Oh yes, unhelpful time awareness. I noticed when my dad was here, or up to the time when my dad was coming over, when I found out he was arriving, like he announced it like a month before he was going to be here, or so, maybe 6 weeks before. And so from mid-October until right now, that has been occupying a large chunk of my head. And it's been very hard to focus on other things. Oh, 15 minutes. All right, so I'll put another 10 minutes on the timer. See if we can wrap this up by then. And so I've also noticed, Jesus. So I've noticed that there's a lot of distractions, particularly of a event-based or project-based nature, that tends to put my mind in a state where I can't focus on other things. It's a huge distraction. And I think because I worked in management for a number of years, time awareness is something that's sort of baked into the job description. And because, you know, when I was working in companies, I was generally in positions of responsibility in startups or small companies where, like, you know, the life of the company depended on our ability to execute. I associated time awareness with responsibility to people I worked with and to the company I had pledged some kind of allegiance to. And that becomes very much of an emotional burden, I think. I feel it at least I'm very aware of it. Hey, sweetie. Cat has come to say hello. And so I find that when I have a project to do, like, I'm very aware of time. How long does it take? And I also don't like it. It's also a paralyzing feeling. And it's only when I can forget time that I'm actually productive. The moment that I'm thinking about how long something takes, the moment I'm thinking about my responsibilities to other people, who may not even care that what I'm doing. Like, I'm the only one who's, like, you know, obsessing about it, probably more than I have to. You know, this creates an unbalance in myself, and I can't be productive. So that's why I've been trying to pursue this system of being non-time related, non-task related management, which sounds like an oxymoron. It's like a dichotomous statement, but I think either I need to be like just drop my awareness or anxiety about getting things done. Or you know, just say fuck it and just like say, you know, what gets done, and then move on into the next phase. The next thing I was going to talk about is maintain a productive attitude. Now, there's multiple productive attitudes. The productive attitude that I thought I had before was that of being time aware. Like, I was hyper aware of time, and I wanted to be on time, and I have it down so, like, I know exactly how long it takes for me to get to the mall, plus or minus 2 minutes, depending on lights. And it takes me 17 minutes to get there. So if I need to meet someone at the mall, I will set my timers to go off 5 minutes before the 17-minute mark to give myself a little bit of margin. And so that's like the drop dead time. And there's another timer that I'll set that will go off a little bit beforehand so I start getting ready so I leave the house on time. Because I hate being late. And, like, you know, I still am late, but you know, I just feel it so intensely, the dislike of being late. And I don't think it's a good thing to be aware of. On the other hand, like, when a lot of the work that I do requires tasks that aren't time-bound. They're not like I'm driving to the mall or have to write 400 words or anything like that. I know how long those take, but they're tasks like figuring out how to do something for the first time, or how to create something unique that didn't exist before. How do I create a graphic identity for a new product? How do I design a new form? How do I do these things? And the time awareness gets in the way of that, because I'm thinking like, how long is this going to take? I don't know how long it takes. And it builds up this anxiety about it, which is not helpful. The helpful attitude to have is, I think, twofold. First is not to give in to these anxieties, and not to vocalize them in a way that gives them strength. An example of this would be someone, and this is a pet peeve of mine, are people who dwell on like what they're not doing right and forgive themselves for it. That sounds terrible with the way I'm putting it. But so it's like, like I'm on a diet, but I'm gonna eat this cookie because I deserve it, because I need to feel better. So I'm gonna do it. So who's with me? And I'm thinking like, you said you weren't going to eat that cookie. I understand that you might feel bad and you want to eat a cookie, but eating a cookie is no way to solve that problem. And the productive attitude is also not to tell that person like, yeah, man, you're eating that cookie and you're not doing that. The productive attitude, I think, is to redirect and say, says, yeah, well, okay, I'll tell you what, I won't eat a cookie either if you don't eat that cookie. That's more of a solidarity type of thing. And other examples would be, I want to work on this project, but like I'm tired or whatever. For me, I find that when I'm working on these time-related projects, or any project basically, I'll often feel very tired before starting it, particularly if there's a component of it that's uncertain. For example, it's got to be good. That's an uncertainty that's being stated. How do you know what's going to be good if you haven't done it before, if it has to be new? So that's a way that gets in the way. So a productive attitude would be to say, like, we'll worry about good later. Right now we'll just worry about having something to look at to see if it's good or not. Knowing that it's much easier to evaluate the quality of something once you have it in front of you, rather than the imagined version of it. So, anyway, I've been thinking a lot about the productive attitudes and my own unhelpful attitude toward time, and my own failures in being able to follow through with projects. And I guess what I'm saying is that I want to like drop this anxiety aspect of things. I'm acknowledging that I am overly sensitive to time, and I need to think less about it, because it really does me no good. These are projects, like all the things that are on this list, with the exception of bills and stuff like that, they are not time sensitive. The ones that are bills, like, at least I know how to do that. I just need to make sure I'm making money and have money to deposit in the right accounts. So I had to dip into savings like this month because I have no active work coming in. So, that's, and then I need to ensure that I'm working on projects that are going to bring me income in the future. And that's a lot of these Way of Dave social media related things. So at least those things, those money related things, those are certainties, more or less. The uncertainties are the ones that are projects where I'm creating something new, or making a community related goodness. Trying to do anything that's as worthwhile and of value. That's difficult for me. And for me, difficulty comes from just dealing with the uncertainty part. Once I get going on it, and I'm not thinking about time and not thinking about responsibility, I'm just thinking about the problem, then things go fine. And I had to tell myself that, it's all right to be that way. It's all right to focus on yourself. It's all right to focus on making these things, knowing how it's going to take a period of some time. But the world is such a place that puts such a premium on getting things done quickly, on time, efficiently, and so forth. And I think it's a stupid attitude, or it's desirable from the management perspective. If you're a manager that's not producing, if you're managing other assets and resources, and your primary focus is not team development, but on just getting something out the door by a certain deadline, then that makes sense, right? Someone's got to be doing that. But in my case, I'm not in that model, and I keep borrowing past experiences from that model and applying it to my current situation, and it works against me. It's in that sense, it's stupid. So, with that, I think I'm just going to get going on this list. And there's nothing really for show and tell. I can show you this cat, because he's right here. Oh, his name is actually Cat. with a K. His name was Leopold when I adopted him. He's a fine example of an American long-haired mutt cat that kind of looks like a Maine Coon. Right, cat? Seems like he's so unmoved. Here, why don't you sit there? Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll do something fun, but I'm going to spend like this next hour or so just trying to resolve my healthcare stuff. Hopefully those sites are working. They have not been very reliable for me, so wish me luck. Talk to you later. Doink. Kitty, kitty, kitty. Kitty, oh, you're in the way again. Ooh. Oh. 2, 3. Just waiting for this thing to time out so I can stop the stream and not cut off the end of it.